Welcome back, everyone. Nice to see you all again. It's also very nice to be back with another tier list ranking today. I've been enjoying doing this again. It's been a while, but I'm having fun just talking about music, ranking some stuff, provoking some people maybe. It's all just a bit of fun, and I've actually been enjoying myself a lot doing this. So I'm looking forward to hopefully finishing up this series in the very near future here, where we're really at you call it like the home stretch, the final ending. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel here. We're on the letter S, and we're going to talk about some songs from Serbia today, or I'm going to talk about them, and you can respond with your opinions on these songs in the comments below if you want to. Do also try out to do this tier list. I think you can just find it on tiermaker.com. I don't know how it works, but do try and make your own tier list of this if you want to. Regardless of whether you do that or not, I'm going to be sharing mine today. And in case you've watched the tier list I made for Montenegro, it's been a while back since that was uploaded, but if you watched that, you know that I kind of split the two entries that Serbia and Montenegro participated with in Eurovision in 2004 and 2005, because they were kind of representing the two separate countries. So the 2004 one is the one that we have here today, which is called La Nemoya. I think everyone knows this song, and I think everyone knows that I will put it in the Among the Greatest category, where it should be. La Nemoya is like, I won't say it's the first of the Balkan ballads in Eurovision, but it's like such a massive kind of introduction because it was a very successful Balkan ballad. And we've had successful Balkan ballads before, but this just kind of feels like a pioneer of sorts, even though it really isn't. But it's just that one iconic stamp of the Balkan ballads kind of being introduced in maybe a larger sense to Eurovision. And I think that kind of, like the impact that it has kind of comes together with the fact that it's Željko's first effort as well. Željko here, who obviously is a very beloved and well-respected composer and artist in the realm of Eurovision, and hopefully outside of it as well. I'm not too well read on that, but no one in Sweden knows much about him, but maybe down in the Balkan regions of Europe, he's possibly more well known. I like him a lot though, and I like this song a lot. I think it's actually not my favorite of his, but it's my favorite of him as a performer. If you want to know what my favorite of all of his songs are, then you have some other tier lists to watch on my channel, and you can find out. But La Nemoya, I think the main strength of this is kind of the progression of the song, but also just that iconic melody that it has, and it transmits just beautifully in the opening with the flute, and then how the instrumental beat joins in with the opening melody. It's a very flawless kind of introduction to a song that I just love. And the song kind of, it takes a while to really get going with the vocals, but it still feels so very alive before the vocals even have to kick in. It could be an instrumental piece and it will still be equally interesting, I think, because there's a lot of playfulness and variation with the instrumentation in this song. Different instruments jump in and out, and then at the final chorus, when everything comes together, it's a very epic kind of finale to the song. And this melody that's kind of constantly returning, it's just such a great melody. It has such an intonation along with the rhythm and flow of it. It's one of those melodies that you can just hear at any time and just really kind of comfort yourself in it. I don't know how to express it, but I think it carries such an emotion with it, just by the way the melody is intonated. And the fact that it's played, firstly on the flute, and then you have the vocal delivery of it, it's fantastic. Love everything about La Nemoya. Just an iconic song in the history books for Eurovision. Among the greatest, for sure. Molitva, then. You're probably aware of the situation with Serbia and Montenegro and all of that. That happened in the mid-2000s. But 2007, Serbia were back as on their own, and they won. Molitva, beautiful Balkan ballad again. Not really La Nemoya levels for me, but for others, sure it is. I think it's a very bombastic ballad. It has a lot of drive, especially towards the end. It just it kind of builds towards this finale that really just kind of connects with the audience in a very special way. The opening parts of the song are very dramatic and restrained and mellow, while also carrying a lot of, I guess, a sorrow feeling to them, which is really nice, and it builds very effectively as well. Liking the whole aspect of the backing vocals joining in at the end, and they're kind of being incorporated into the presentation, which is a really nice touch, because they are a big part of what this song is. Great melody to the chorus, great instrumentation, strong performance, fantastic entry. Well-deserved victory, I think. Might be it's probably my favorite from 2007, if I just kind of quickly try and remember, but yeah. 2008, Serbia are just something else. This is another fantastic Balkan ballad to me. You know, great instrumentation again. I feel like that's a very recurring theme for Serbia in Eurovision. A beautiful vocal performance, beautiful staging. I really like the presentation of this song and the layout of everything. The final chorus is very, like, it feels like it's, what do you call it? It ties the knot very, very well. It's a very, what do you call it? It's a great feeling when the song is over, because it really kind of ends the way that it should. It ends the way you kind of want it to all tie together at the end with the instrumentation. It's very similar in the vein of the structure of the songs compared to, I think, mainly maybe Molitva. Doesn't really have the same kind of grand and maybe memorable chorus, and it's also a bit up and down in the whole moods of this song. I think this is a very suspenseful type of song because it moves up and down a lot. It restrains the instrumental a lot at parts. The vocal style becomes whispery, and then there's these big elevations leading into the choruses, and the choruses are quite large and grand, especially with the instrumentation backing it up. Yeah, fantastic. Chipola isn't really fantastic, but I think it's a lot of fun. Should we just put it in solid? Because, I mean, Chipola is one of those entries that I could watch at any point and just have a blast. I really, really enjoy it. Songwriting-wise, it's a big nothingness, I think. But it's also really catchy. And I think the presentation is what really just elevates it, because the presentation of this one is really great. It's a fun performance with charm, with charisma. It's just well made. But then at the same time, you know, the song is a bit repetitive. The instrumental isn't really all that too exciting, even though it has like this charming tone to it. I think it's solid. I have a great time with it. I just don't really feel like it's justified to put it in a really great category. Yeah, so I think solid's gotta have to do it for Chipola, but I have a lot of fun with this one. Ovoja Balkan, I also have a lot of fun with. That one is justified to be in the really great category, though. Just kind of professionalism all around for this one, I think. It's very playful, but also has a sense of professionalism to it. The instrumental is great. The chorus is memorable. I'm liking the whole bouncy style of the rhythms in the song as well. Well performed with a lot of, you know, charm. It's a very inviting song. You're kind of just being dragged into this, for many people, myself included, a very foreign type of, what do you call it? Like a foreign type of lifestyle? I don't know. Like the whole cultural showcasing here. It's very foreign to many people, myself included. And it's a very warm and inviting, welcoming to something like it. Just a song that is intended to just have a blast. And you as an audience probably have a blast along with it. So just ticks all the boxes. Really great one. I like it a lot. 2011, oh, I do not like this one that much. Where should I even put it? I mean, the song has its own identity, so that's a positive. It's just that it's not really my thing. I think it's an I like it, but because the identity is there, it knows what it wants to do and kind of goes all the way there, but it's just not my type of music. I think it's a bit obnoxious, like the chorus is very rhythmically intense, with like lots of reliance on staccato hits, and then there is this dragged out Charoban line, which just kind of drags out. I think it's like a mismatch in the chorus that I don't really particularly enjoy. Even though it's playful, it's just not something that I really connect with in that sense. The performance, this is very typical for us. Like, it's flirting with a typical type of music and era, and I get that. It's just that I'm not really in on the whole concept of everything that's going on here, and that maybe makes me more being put off by it, even though it really is admirable how much they try to incorporate this style of both music and presentation into their performance here. But yeah, it's I can admire it, but I don't really particularly enjoy it. I guess that's it. 2012, I enjoy Nia Ljubavstvar a lot. It's another fantastic Zelko song here. Hard-hitting, doesn't really have the melodic impact that La Nemoya has. And it's, it still has this great build to it. It's a very, very beautiful piece. Like, in the opening segments of the song, it's very mellow and kind of intimate. And then it still, really builds, and the ending is very hard-hitting with the drumming. The percussion goes really hard on this one. And the vocals are very chanting-like. It's a lot of intensity towards the end, which is a nice contrast to how the song opens. It's, another one of these cases where the Balkan Ballad really has the structure and the progression as its main selling point. And I think it works flawlessly here. It's a fantastic song, great presentation for it as well. Really enjoyable. Oh, yikes, yeah. This is not for me. I kind of despise everything about this song, in all honesty. I think this is from 2013, and just the outfits say everything, that it's just not a song that I particularly would ever seem to enjoy. It's not made for me, and that's completely fine. So not for me is a perfect fit here. The melody in the chorus is a very odd, kind of choppy manner. I think it's not very cohesive. It starts off with like a pretty catchy melody, but then they chop it into this very staccato-esque, like kind of stairway type of melody. The intonation is very choppy and very, kind of formulaic. It just follows the pattern of moving between the notes in a very harsh manner. Doesn't really create a lot of flow to it. It's a bit off-putting for me, and just the way that it contrasts with the rest of the song, I don't particularly enjoy. Instrumental doesn't interest me. The performance is something that I just don't really care for. So no, it's not for me. Beauty Never Lies isn't really for me either. I don't really particularly understand how this finished in the top 10. It's a very good vocal performance. Very strong, very convincing. But the song doesn't really have a lot of cohesion to it. It's a very, again, choppy between verse and chorus this time. I don't think they're connected at all. It feels very odd listening to it as a cohesive unit of a song. The progression isn't really there. I'm not particularly fond. Like, the message is absolutely there, but I'm not particularly fond of how in your face it is, especially in the chorus. It feels just over the top. It's not for me, honestly. I think it's, even though there are qualities within this one, I just can't get behind it. I don't find anything to enjoy about it. And the final chorus where, the house beat kicks in and the woman here just kind of goes all in with the vocals. I mean, it's one of these moments that really could become super effective for some people. Like, some people could just really get into it and just love it to bits. But I think the house production is quite subpar. Doesn't really have a lot of drive or power to it. It just feels like very placeholder, kind of demo-esque, and all of the power really has to be distributed by the vocal performance, which just kind of doesn't work, because I think the vocal needs to get backed up by a dominant beat, and I don't really think it does that, so everything just kind of falls for me. Kudos to them, though, for getting a good result with this. I wouldn't back that result, though. 2016, we have a song called Goodbye, or Shelter, something like that. It's a solid song. I think that there's a nice attitude within it. It's well performed, well sung, well presented. Like the coloring on stage a lot. Like, the color grading is really great with the red and blacks, and how they kind of, not intertwine, but they go into each other and really just create this very lush color that I really like. maybe a little bit of a shame that everyone's dressed in black as well, because it doesn't really work with the whole black atmosphere that's already there. I haven't really considered going all in on the presentation of this song, but for what the song is, it has a solid hook. The verses are a bit anonymous to me. Don't really get too much out of them. I think it's solid. It's close to the really great category because I think the chorus really has a great drive, and there's an identity to this song that I think is very admirable. But it's not quite there. It doesn't reach me enough as it should, even though the message is very strong. Yeah, I would like to put it up here, but I think I want to put it more up here than I actually think, if that makes sense. I don't think the song is strong enough to be up here, even though I want to put it up there, if that makes sense. Into Deep, 2017, this is just a big, what do you call it, like a big shrug for me. I don't really know much about this song. It's just there. Doesn't really fill out a purpose of any sort. There's like this drum and bass inspired beat to it, which I could be a fan of, but it's not very assertive or anything. I think drum and bass either needs to be very kind of mellow and chill, or it has to be very assertive and driving. Here it's somewhere in the middle. It's basically only there to provide a rhythm to back up the song. The chorus melody is somewhat memorable, but I don't really think the instrumental is there to back it up and really provide some power for it. It's just a big shrug of the shoulders. Like, I don't really get much out of this one. Also quite an empty staging, so I guess this category. The chorus melody is quite nice, but I think the song was in desperate need of a revamped version that just kind of tried to go more in for the assertiveness of the beat and really just allow the percussion to actually be a focal point instead of just kind of shoving them to the side. That's what I would have changed, I think. Maybe also provide some more variation in the instrumental, because melodically it's not very strong instrumental-wise. Everything's just kind of thrown towards the vocal side of things, and the vocals have to carry everything. So yeah. Completely contrastive to that, we have Nova Decha or Desa, or yeah, excuse me for my poor linguistic skills, but 2018, great year for Serbia. Fantastic song with an instrumental that's just out of this world, in my opinion. This is world building at a very, very high level. The percussive side of things is very, very strong. It has this, you know, kind of, not techno, but it's a very electronic inspired drumming pattern throughout this song. Also combines really well with the more authentic kind of ethnic inputs that it has. The vocal arrangement throughout the song is impeccable. Chorus is memorable, very well staged. Love the lighting a lot, and love the whole layout on stage as well. They've really put up a creative performance, and I think the song really just sticks with me. I love this combination of electronica and like this kind of club-inspired electronic that just keeps intensity with rhythm, and combining that with the more I guess ethnic tones of this song. I'm gonna go as far and put it in fantastic. I think, yeah, that's how good I think it is. I think it's really, really great, or really, 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 really great. So it's about this. Krna is also fantastic to me. Wow, it's a very strong selection that I think Serbia has provided for Eurovision, with a few tips, I guess. But Krna is just another of these Balkan ballads that starts off beautifully. The instrumentation is really hard-hitting. I get really dragged into everything that they're trying to build up and establish in this song. And then when the electric guitar joins in and just builds this power, it doesn't quite come across with the same intensity when you watch the performance as when I first heard it listening with headphones. I mean, when I first heard this song, it was one of those just insane listening experiences for me, because it was so unexpected how the turn took like that. I was really heavily invested into the movement of the verses, and then this guitar just comes in and asserts a dominance, and the chorus is all in your face, really hard hitting, great rhythm, great intensity from the instrumental, strong vocal performance. just flawless. And I like the structure as well, how it goes back and forth within these intense moments. And the final, like towards the end of the song, where after the second chorus, it leads into this instrumental follow-up, which just allows, if it's strings or woodwinds and everything, to just kind of take over the whole soundstage. It's one of these moments where you kind of can get lost in the music because the intensity has been built up, and then the vocal segment of the song has been released, and you're just kind of getting released into this instrumental overhaul, like a collective overhaul of just kind of getting dragged into all of the movement and everything that's going on within the music. Really particularly incredible listening experience, I think. Love this one. Fantastic. Hurricane is a group that I mean, the thing is that it's not for me. They were never meant for me. This is so far away from my personal music preference. However, I think, let's see, this one's called Hasta la Vista, this one's called Loco Loco, yeah. Hasta la Vista is the one that I actually liked. I think this one has great attitude in the verses. There's a nice progression to it, there's a nice structure to it. Chorus is quite memorable. Choreography is obviously on point with both of them. But as a song, Hasta la Vista gives me much, much more. I love the verses of this song. I think there's a nice structure to it. I think this one is probably... it's solid. I can't put it higher than that. No, I don't think it's much better than that. But it's a solid pop tune. I really can get dragged into it and enjoy it. Unfortunately for Loco Loco, that's not the case. But the choreography is still on point. The energy is there. The intensity of the instrumental is there. It's just not my type of music. And I think the verses in this one are much weaker. And the chorus is absolutely, for me personally, an overall mess in Loco Loco. I think the melody is straight up not good. But maybe that's just me. But I can't get behind the chorus of Loco Loco. I don't get any enjoyment out of it. Hasta la Vista I get enjoyment from, but I think the verses are the main selling point of that song as well, though. Because the combination of the different vocals with this kind of assertive attitude in it, it's great. And then we have In Corpore Sano. It's just hypnotic experience, I guess. Incredibly well staged and well presented. Really connected with people at home, which is awesome. I always kind of enjoyed this. I love the playfulness of it, and like the elevation that the chorus keeps at for the constant hits, how it moves upward, along with the the iconic clapping. I think I just kind of have to put it in fantastic because of the iconic stamp that this song kind of has. As a song, I would much rather listen to the other songs in this category, I think. But I just love the whole aspect of this and everything that it really represents, and how this kind of art project that they're producing here, just the whole concept of it is so mesmerizing to me, and I'm all for it. And I also do think that the playfulness and kind of creativity of the songwriting here, they're playing around a lot, so much with rhythms of pausing and breaking the beat, and just kind of creating a very chopped up structure for the song. It just works within a project like this. Yeah, I can get definitely behind that. And that is my tier list for Serbia. There's a lot of fantastic here. I'm quite fond of Serbia in Eurovision, as you can probably tell here. So that only kind of elevates my excitement for what they're gonna bring next year. Which next year I will hopefully cover all of the Eurovision songs again on YouTube. I hope that my schedule will allow for that. But yeah, that's my tier list for Serbia. Do share what yours would look like in the comments if you want to. I hope to see you in a video probably tomorrow again then as well. I think should be Slovakia. Am I gonna make one for Slovakia? I don't know how many songs there are. I'll have to look into that. It's either gonna be Slovakia or Slovenia tomorrow. So hope to see you in that one. Take care of yourselves until then, and bye.